Welcome robotics students. Today we're going to have a lesson in wire cutting and connecting wires together and also stripping insulation from wires. So each one of you, what you'll do is get into groups. We'll get into our regular groups, and in front of you you're going to see a cup. The cup is going to have a few items in it. It's going to have 2 wires in it, and it's also going to have 3 connectors in it. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that as we go along here. So just moving along, so you're going to have 2 wires and 3 connectors. So the first thing I'm going to expect you to do is, after you lay the wire out, is we're going to take one of the wires and we're going to use what we call a wire stripper, wire cutter device to take this wire here and cut this wire in half. So I just want to make clear, these are scissors. These can be used to cut wire, but we don't want to use the scissors to cut wire because that damages the edges, and as you get into thicker wire, it just doesn't make a clean cut. So there's a special tool called a wire cutter stripper, and we're going to use that. So let me just give a quick demonstration of how that's done. You want to hit this part is where the cutting blades are, and we're going to cut this in half, just like this. And then after we cut that in half, what we're going to use is this blue connector, this is called a butt connector, to insert the wire in here, insert the wire in here, and connect these 2 wires together. The first step in making that happen is to take your cut wire and to put it in your wire stripper. And if you notice here, there's numbers. These are gauge numbers, so you need to guess the gauge of the wire and find out what is the appropriate hole to put that in. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead, and I'm going to guess this is a 16 gauge wire, and I came up pretty close. That's really good. Take that after you do it. What I like to do is just spin the wires together. We'll put it into this device here, and what we have to do is read the instructions that I gave you. You're going to have some instructions that I hand out, and crimp this properly following the instructions. The instructions are going to tell you where to put this on here, but you can go ahead and watch the video, just try to get a basic idea. So I'll crimp down on this, and that will crimp the wire, and feel free to do it a couple of times so that we get a nice crimp on the wire and it's held securely. And so that's the first one here. We'll move on to this. Take that again, we have to strip off the insulation, twist that, put it in here, and we'll crimp this down using the same technique. Alright, so that's this wire, that's connecting 2. The next thing that I'd like you to do is take the second wire here, and with your red connectors, is use the same technique. This is a bullet connector, and this bullet connector will connect into this bullet connector. So what I'd like you to do is the same thing, is don't cut this wire in half, but rather connect the connector at this end and connect the connector at this end. And what we'll do later, after those are connected, is we'll put them together and attach them using the connector. So if you have any questions, I'll be going around to each student group and try to answer your questions. If not, happy connecting, and we'll talk later. Thank you.